G'day, my name is Joel Rasmussen for Southern Cross Combat, and ahead of his fight at Eternal 86 on June 22nd, I'm talking to Mr. Sebastian Szalay. Sebastian, I thank you very much for the time. How are you this Monday?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. It's been long awaited, but we're finally here.
Yes, absolutely, and I thank you for giving me the time, especially on fight week. How are you today? How's your Monday been treating you?
It's been good, man. Just bit of a light sweat out, business as usual, getting ready for the weekend. Looking forward to it.
Getting ready for work. When you say a
That's
light
right.
sweat out, is that work, like working out, or is that like you're in the sauna?
Just working out, going down to the gym, moving around, just as you're cutting that extra bit, the last bit of weight and all that, you don't want anything too intense. So yeah, it's just moving around, working technique, drills, and preparing. That's all.
And as people watching can see, you've got a coffee there. How do you enjoy your coffee? I'm assuming it's coffee.
It sure is. And I that's one thing I gotta have is my coffee. That's for sure. Yeah.
How do you enjoy your coffee?
It's a little bit on the black side. So it's a dash of almond milk and then the rest of it's black. You gotta add a little bit of milk in it, straight black sometimes is oof,
It's a
bit too
bit.
much. That's how you know you're in fight week. And for me, it's like my coffee starts to change and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now it's business.
It gets more bitter and bitter and bitter.
That's as it gets closer and closer, you're taking away everything and you're just like, ah, yeah, there we go. That's the feeling. There we go.
Getting darker and darker.
Yep, 100%. That's it.
This is the first time you and I have spoken to each other, but it's kind of light at the moment, though. It's very, if I can say, very friendly
Yeah.
man. But you touch on that. Are you a guy who kind of flips the switch and kind of gets all like fight business mode?
Yeah, man. Yeah, in the end, like it's for me, it's just business as usual and outside the cage. Again, I come from a karate background, so a lot of for me is just, respect and going there and getting the job done. And then when it's time to show up and do business, that's what I do. So yeah, it's basically yeah, when I get out there, it's game time. I'm locked in.
You mentioned that there. You come from that karate background. That was something I was going to bring up in a little bit, but we'll talk about that now. Uh,
Yeah.
how did you get into that karate? The karate is typically something you get into when you're young. Did your parents get you into it? How did you come to martial arts?
Yeah, so it's karate started when I was 6 years old. So I've done it for a very long time. And again, it was just through family. My dad started it, my brother did, my other brother also, and then it became like a family thing where we would all do karate. And I uh basically started competing in karate from a very young age. And then all the way through then I was very much involved in karate. And then later down the road, me and my dad opened up our own karate gym and we would teach kids and basically yeah we would just do stuff like that, so it just yeah a lot of my martial arts comes from my karate and my background. Yeah.
And where was this? Like, was this in Australia in different states? Like, where was this?
So it was Perth. So yeah, when I was back in Perth, that's when we opened up a club. It's still there at the moment and everything like that. It's going well. And yeah, my dad's basically running it. He has to hold down the fort for now. But yeah, no, it's good.
So you are now living in New South Wales, fighting out of freestyle MMA.
Yep.
When does that kind of shift happen, and how do you make the decision of like, all right, well, I'm going to fly across the country?
Yeah, so freestyle it happened prior to when I switched over from karate to MMA. I had come over to freestyle through connections and friends like that to train with all the boys down here in freestyle. And I had come over previously when I was living in Perth to come over and do some camps and train with everyone. And then it came down to a point of like my career where I was like, okay, I feel like this would be the right moves and to move over and come full time here in Wollongong and train at freestyle with all the boys. And then yeah, I just made a decision and basically packed up all my gear and I moved to Wollongong. And then yeah, have been happy ever since. It's been awesome. It's been a really cool experience so far. Met a lot of really cool people and yeah, I'm just very happy at the moment.
How long have you been living over there?
It's now just over a year. Yeah.
All right, because I remember I was up in freestyle mid to late, about this time last year, maybe a bit later. I remember I came in on a sparring day, and everyone was
That's
there.
right.
And I remember seeing you because I was the one guy
Yeah.
in a button up, and everyone else was in engage gear. I was like, I
You know,
feel
I do remember that. I was like, because I kind of knew who you were, but I wasn't too sure. And then I remember Justin them telling me who you were, and I was like, okay. Because I was kind of like, who is this guy for a second? I was like, he must be. I'm not too sure, but then yeah, they
I
told me. So I do remember that actually. It was around June. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Everyone else is in gear, ready to spar, and I'm there in like a red button up. Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
Look, I've just wandered in.
Yeah.
Um, but you talk about that shift, flying across the country, making that decision. When did you start from going from karate and decide I'm going to become an MMA fighter?
Um, so I was competing in karate quite heavily at a national and international level, and it came to a point around when I was 24, 25, I think, where I had always an interest in MMA. I always wanted to do MMA, and I was just like there was one time where I was just like, you know what, I want to give this a crack. I want to do some training. So I started training, and then I was like, man, I really want to have a fight. I've always wanted to have a fight in the cage and all that, and I was like, yeah, this seems to be the right move at that time. And then as I started training more MMA, getting more involved in that, and also still doing karate at the same time, I just started getting an itch for MMA and getting there and wanting to fight. And basically, yeah, just I've always had an interest in that and going in the cage and fighting something a little bit more, as you say, hardcore, other than because I came from karate. Karate is point style fighting. So again, when I was younger doing karate, it was a little bit different. The contact was a bit harder. But karate also did tend to start to get a bit softer as well, and that was more of a reason why I went over to MMA as well. I wanted someone a bit more, fist on, punch on, fight on, like that. So yeah, it was always something I wanted to do, and yeah,
Well, you kind of mentioned that there about something it called to you. You liked kind of that little bit more intensity from it. But I wanted to
yeah,
ask, when you make the shift from point style fighting to finish style fighting, is how I'll refer to it.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
like an active change? Like because I haven't competed in any striking sports. What's the difference between hitting someone for points and hitting someone to stop them?
Well, when you hit some of the points, there's a lot of stopping and starting. In MMA, there ain't no stopping and starting. That's the thing. You get hit, you got to keep going. So there was a big change there. But for me, when I started to go over MMA, it was a natural progression. It felt quite natural to me to switch over with the style I had at that time to go to karate, and I just implemented. All right, just hit a bit harder. That's what it is. Not so much points now. You don't pull your punches. Okay, let it go a little bit more. And that comes from training. Just like I had really good instructors in karate where we would work on those things where you'd be able to, pull those punches from points to make it more an impact in that sense. So yeah, it was just quite natural to transition over to that style.
You talked about the training you're getting out at freestyle. Something I really like about freestyle is that it's a place for people like yourself where there's that featherweight region where you've
Yeah,
got a lot
yeah,
of people to work with who are in like your body type. How is that for you, and what's it like training with all those guys there?
yeah. Look, I've said it in the past as well, like that. It's awesome. You got a bunch of good bodies there, and also we all have a unique style as the way we fight. Everyone's very different there, so we all cater to each other nicely in preparation to lead up to fights. We're all very different in many ways, and again, when you got guys with the same weight and different styles and stuff like that, and it comes together nicely, and having a coach like Joe and all that, he lets us be quite freely with our styles as well. So we can explore ways of doing things differently, and yeah, it's really good, man. Freestyle, all the boys there, everyone. You got Volkanovski as well, like that. You got someone who you can look up to like that as well. Like, yeah, it's just awesome, man.
Now, freestyle, it feels like a gym. With many gyms, it's constantly busy. I spoke to Joe Lopez a few weeks ago, and we talked about that kind of constant schedule. There's been some traveling around. I know some of the boys were just down in Melbourne, Justin and Colby. Uh,
Yep.
how has that been for you when you're, prepping for a camp and maybe some of the guys are out of town?
Um, that's the thing, man. the boys would dip out for their fights here and there, but also, we have other bodies that come in, and then we make it work. You got guys there, we can make it work, and yeah, doesn't really impact in any way, because we know as soon as they're done, they're gonna be back at the gym anyways, like that. So yeah, we all got each other's backs. We're all there to help each other. Whenever a fight's happening, as soon as like this, with Justin just came back today to the gym, and he's already like, all right, let's get into it. Let's start locking in. Let's get me ready. Let's prepare. Like, you got everyone watching each other's backs and helping each other prepare like that. It's really good.
How is the feeling in the gym? Because at Hex, freestyle went 2 for 3. So
Yep.
that's a good positive, record in terms of percentages. But like, I talked to Jarrett right after the fight, and he was very distraught for Justin. How are
Yeah.
you when that
Yeah.
kind of happens to your teammates, but you're still trying to lock in? And how's the feeling in the gym?
Um. Yeah. Look, that was it was hard to watch. Justin's, he's a good mate of mine, and he's my teammate, and it was tough to watch. A fight go like that. He's like, right there. And yeah, it was tough, but the show must go on. Business as usual. That's the way we look at it. Like, you lose, it is what it is. You come back to the gym, go back to the drawing board, and you get back into it. That's kind of the attitude we all look at. We all have a laugh. We have a good time. The atmosphere is still being good at gym. No one's morbid or sad or upset. We'll just move on. Business as usual. It's been good. Yeah.
Now, talking about your upcoming fight, you are standing on one side of a Grand Prix bracket. You were fighting Gabriel Schlupp. And I want to ask, just in general, what are your thoughts on Gabriel as an opponent?
Um. Yeah. Look. He's a little bit unknown in the sense where, yeah, he's 6-0, so he's a good record and everything like that. But he had a long break previously to the one on Eternal now, so you haven't seen too much of him. Obviously, I've done my research on him, and I've been studying and stuff like that. But yeah, look, he's a good opponent. You can't take him lightly. Much respect to him, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight, because I feel like it'll be an interesting matchup.
Now, as I mentioned, you're on one side of the bracket. The other side of the bracket has been pretty fluid. I'll say it that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can say that.
it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's now a completely different fight with two completely different people.
yeah.
While of course I have no doubt that you are fully focused on Gabriel and
Hmm.
winning that fight, you do know that one of those guys could be next. And when that almost the next fight for you is constantly rotating,
Yeah.
how is that for you and kind of your mentality and headspace?
Yeah, when all that stuff was happening with George, and then he left and went to the Hex to fight for the title there, and then Dan Jones again like this. Look, this is the fight game. It happens. People pull out. Things happen. It is what it is. For me, I've got the guy in front of me. Me and Gabriel, we've stuck to what we're doing. I'm fighting. He's fighting. Nothing's changed on our end. So in that sense, I look at it as just like, yep, he's my opponent in front of me. That's what I got to get through, and then business as usual. What's next is next. Like, between whatever the opponent's are, switches or changes like that, it doesn't matter to me. It's just business as usual. It's just going in there and getting the job done. That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I'm treating it. Anything can happen this weekend as well. Someone can get injured on the other fight, and then who knows what's going to happen later on. But yeah, I just keep locked in, business as usual. Got to get through Gabriel, and then we'll see what happens next with that.
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, Gabriel was going to be Justin's next opponent before Justin vacated the title, which to me says Eternal view him as willing to fight for a title.
Yeah.
Do you think you and Gabriel should just be a match for the title?
Um. Yeah, I guess so. In the end, it doesn't matter to me. Like, regardless, the title's there. One more fight or another fight to the title, it doesn't matter. More experience like this is good for me. If this was for the title, good. If it's not, okay. But then it better be for the title next. Like, I'm looking at one or two fights where, before this happened, this tournament, I was looking at either it was going to be one more fight and a fight for the title, or a fight for the title. And I got the opportunity anyway. So regardless, to me, it doesn't matter. It's just more experience, getting more experience on that belt. And yeah, that's all the way I look at it.
Based on that answer, we can tell that there is that want to fight for that title. For you in your career, what do kind of belts mean to you?
Look, it's just another stepping stone to the next level after that. It's obviously a great opportunity. You fight for the belt, you earn the belt, and that's just going to give me more opportunities to look what's after that, possibly fight UFC and all those things for there. So the way I look at it, about it's a great thing. You hold the belt, especially a featherweight belt. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But again, it's just like you get the belt. Okay, what's next? That's the way I'm looking at it. Um, Opportunities after that. For right now, my objective is that, and then after that, we'll see what happens. But yeah,
Now, this interview is brought to the lovely viewers by PRP Global.
hey, the PRP boys, yeah, they know what's up.
They do know what's up, and I know they've helped you out. They've helped a bunch of your teammates out.
Yeah.
How did that relationship between you and PRP start?
It started through basically just that's the thing. I moved down to freestyle, and my old manager got in contact with Ryan uh, through looking for sponsorships and stuff for me, and then out of coincidence, they were also sponsoring Colby as well, and they were like, "Hey, let's help both of you boys out." So they started helping me and Colby out, and then after the my previous performances and Colby's performances, and then they were like, "Hey, let's look to make something out of this. Let's do something cool." And then Ryan and Pat were starting to give us a few ideas of what they had in mind, and then Amina jumped on board, and then they were like, "This is what we're doing, and what do you guys reckon?" Like this and that, and then from there it just went on, and yeah, it's just turned into a really cool thing, a cool little thing, um, where it's just growing and growing now. Like you can see, like with Hex and stuff like that, they're on their promotion there, and yeah, it's been a cool little experience so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
As an athlete, how has having them support you been, and like kind of how have they supported you as an athlete?
Look, yeah, they helped me out. With Pat and Ryan are helping me out, with a bunch of stuff. They're having them support me and backing me through these camps and stuff like that. It's been so much help, and I can't thank them enough. And yeah, they've been really supportive to me and others as well. And we got a cool little group here, and yeah, they've just been really helpful, man. And yeah, can't say, you know, it's just been awesome.
Now, I'm just looking at it in my monitor here. You have a fighter shirt. I had this conversation with Amina Hadea
Yep,
about what decides what they put on their shirt. Your design has a bird on it. I was wondering,
yep.
what's the significance of the bird?
So I'm Hungarian. That's my background, and that bird is a turuk. It's a eagle. It was used on the armor and the plates of all the Hungarian soldiers. Uh, and yeah, it's just again for me, it's just my Hungarian, my heritage, where I'm from, and stuff like that. And it's yeah, it's cool. I like it, and I thought to represent where I'm from, to put that on a shirt. And it's an eagle. Eagles look cool anyways as well. So yeah, it's good.
That background and that heritage, is that something you feel kind of gives you strength when you go into the cage?
Yeah, 100%. It definitely does. Having the support from my Hungarian people and stuff like that, my family back home and everything like that. As well, like I get messages of people who are Hungarian in Australia, and yeah, it's really cool. And obviously represent where I'm from and that heritage through my family and stuff like that. It means a lot to me. So yeah, it's cool.
Do you ever get a chance to go to Hungary?
Yeah, I've last time I went was just before COVID and that, and then since then I haven't been, but I would love to go back, especially a lot of my family's back there. So yeah, soon I would like to go back and go see all my family and yeah, check it out again. It's been a while.
Obviously, you're going to see family and stuff. So I understand not necessarily wanting to bring work with you. But do you ever get a chance to train or anything over there?
Never say never. That would be you actually beat me to it because I was just like, it would be cool to actually train there as well. Yeah, it would be. It'd be awesome to train there. And there's actually a guy in Bellator, Adam Borak. He's a Hungarian featherweight as well. So I know he's from there and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be cool to have the opportunity to go there and train there, something different as well. Yeah.
Talking about time, fantastic transition by me there. Smooth.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you. You did have some time out of the cage. I know there was things you had to get sorted in terms of like your health.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, did PRP help out with the surgery that you had?
Yeah, they helped me out. Yeah. They've been backing me for this whole time. Yeah, they have.
So you take that time away from the cage, you get that
Yeah.
surgery, and you come back after a year away, and you get a first round TKO or KO.
Yeah.
Uh, how awesome is that? If you could take me back to that, like
Yeah.
you take this time away, is there doubts coming back? Like, how are you feeling before that fight?
Um, yeah, look, coming back from especially that one with the Joe Davis, that's what you're talking about in
Yes, sir.
Sydney. Yeah, so that was actually that wasn't surgery, that was just some health issues I had to sort out. So I had some problems with liver and kidney issues, and that was a bit scary, definitely, to deal with that. And coming back to that fight and leading into that fight from there, I remember, yeah, it was wild, man. Like the thing that made me the happiest the most was, again, regardless of the result, was being able, through the health issues I had, to get back in the cage, have a healthy cut, get a performance like that. With everyone there, it topped it off. It was like, yeah, just having the opportunity to get back in the cage and fight, that was really nice to do, because you just never know with health issues and stuff like that. Anything can happen. So that was a very nice feeling coming back, having those feelings a bit like, especially from what I experienced before, that my body was a bit all over the shop. Um, Getting in there and having a performance like that, a knockout, first round, yeah, it was really good. It was awesome.
And then you back that up with a performance. I think it was just over 1 month later.
Yeah,
How
against
was
Dan
that?
Jones.
To then immediately be
Yeah,
like, we're back in it.
yeah, it was awesome. It was again like that performance happened, and then I remember chatting to Eternal and stuff like that. I remember as soon as I had the fight with Joe Davis, I remember speaking to the promoters in Eternal. They were just like, "How's Perf sound?" I was like, "Let's do it, let's do it. Let me know what you got." And then got offered Dan Jones, and then yeah, went to that fight and then got the win there and topped off the year with two wins like that. It was really good. I was very happy, and it put me in a good position as well. It put me in a position where I'm at now. So I couldn't be happier.
Of course, that if you look at those fights, that's like a crazy timeline of like a year away and then two within a month.
Yeah.
How comfortable are you, and what is kind of your ideal timelines between fights?
Um. So with this fight, like again, I I want this fight happens, and then obviously you fight in August, and then whatever's next up. But look, at the moment for me, yeah, it's essentially just being as active as I can be right now. Having those fights, obviously injury free, and just trying to back it up. Because if you're on a roll like that, there's no point just waiting and stuff like that. If you're not injured, just be consistent, be active, and then just fight. Make the right moves and go from there. That's the way I look at it. So yeah, after these ones, we'll see, but I do want to be active.
Sebastian, I thank you so much for the time. I do really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me. Your fight is in the Gold Coast, but as far as I know, you are currently in Wollongong.
Yep,
Ding excuse me.
yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
so how close will you fly out and head up to the Gold Coast?
I'm flying out this Thursday morning. Yep, and then Wayne's on Friday. Yep.
Okay, well,
So
I wish you safe travels. It
no
is
worries.
currently 3:30 on a Monday. What is on for the rest of the day for you?
Just gonna go up to the gym again, move around, work some strategy, light sweat out, and then just chill, get this weight off. The fun part, getting the weight off. That's
Yeah,
it. and,
absolutely.
and like you said, the coffee will get darker as the days go on. So yeah, other than that, man, yeah, it's just chilling this week and then business as usual.
Awesome. Sebastian, I thank you very much for the time. Safe travels up to
No
the Gold
worries.
Coast. Best of luck in the fight, and thank you for talking to me.
No worries, and thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.